They will test this curtain prior to using it, and we will probably demonstrate how that's done. This is a safety precaution, very necessary to prove as to whether there are any snags which could hook up the curtain when one is trying to close it once the animals are in. The team pulling the top cable there. These cables have got to be strained extremely tight. One builds up all of 5,000 pound braking strain here. And one thinks that those cables have got to hold up to 10-15 animals at any one time, possibly. One understands why they need to be strained so tight.
Pull the cable.
That net will be put on to reinforce this particular part of the boma. One anticipates animals pressurizing the boma at this point, and in case they crowded the plastic sheeting, which would break, they will find the nylon netting.
Sorry.
This is Jan's quarantine station in Lilongwe. One can see the truck reversed up there with its tailboard down into the offloading ramp, and the station then takes the animals down through various compartments and ultimately into the final isolation paddocks.
Make them separate those keys, and you've got to put them in different places. So if you lose one...
Here we have the truck reversing into the offloading zone. Once the animal ramp is down, they will then be released into this area here, which then takes them all the way back into that gate over there, and from there they either go left into these single pens here, which aren't complete yet, namely for the bulls to keep them separated, and or into one of the bigger paddocks at the back. There Johan is preparing a single bull pen. It's quite often necessary to separate your bulls from the herds. Under confined conditions they're inclined to want to become obstropolous, and this could result in bulls killing cows and fighting other bulls.
Don't step on my blue suede shoes, I say. Okay, take your hand like that.
There you can see the team grappling with a bull. They want to isolate him and not release him in the boma with the females. So it's necessary to handle him in that way. Johan is using a long-acting sedative drug on this capture, and that animal that you see there was captured yesterday evening. So he's been in the truck now for approximately 12 hours, and yet he still seems to be fairly docile, which would indicate that the long-acting drug is in effect working very well. Well, there he is in his single pen. Seems to be fairly happy with the situation. You may notice some pieces of hose pipe on the top of his horn. That's to prevent him horning other animals. Here we have 2 cows. They should go through that gate there and on into the paddock which is provided for them. Here one can see the herd within the boma. These animals have been here now for 4 or 5 days. They're obviously very contented, and I would say that the long-acting drug is without doubt having a very good effect on these animals. The purpose of this exercise is to transfer some sable from the boma straight ahead into the one on the left. This is in preparation of the anticipated capture of roan tomorrow, and that is in fact the roan boma that they are decanting at this point. One can see the drivers with the plastic sheeting there trying to get those sable to move. One has got to be careful with sable. They will charge you, and in spite of hosepipe on the horns, can inflict some very serious wounds.
Okay, go for it now.
It seems they broke back that time. Well, it looks like they broke through a second time, and I'm not quite sure how Johan is going to try and handle it. One can see Jaime there, very satisfied with his long-acting drug. In the background, a few of the Bomid hartebeest, and in fact we have there a calf that is actually suckling from the mother, probably too indistinct to recognize on video. Very important factor. Often the mothers dry up after a capture exercise, and one then has to handle the calves as bottle-fed babies. Jaime's had a lot of experience with capture and drugging, and this is particularly of interest to him, this exercise, with specific reference, as I said earlier, to the long-acting tranquilizer.
George, give us the key, please. George. George, give me the key.
A close-up look at the bull that was released here earlier on this morning. Seems very calm, and one hopes that he will start feeding within the next few hours. Again, the drug is obviously having a desirable effect. We're at a place called Salima Bay on Lake Malawi. This used to be known as Grand Beach Hotel. It's now been taken over and is a Livingstonia Hotel, and we're just here for the day to have a look and see what freshwater lakes are all about. This is some 100 kilometers from Lilongwe, where the quarantine station is based. One can see the team there. We've just had lunch. And headed back this afternoon for my full